Hello and welcome to my channel. Today I'll be reading a chapter from Twisted Lies. Chapter 4, Stella. You're fired. Two words, three syllables. I'd mentally prepared myself for them since Saturday night's fiasco, but they still hit me like a punch in the gut. Breathe in. One, two, three. Out. One, two, three. It didn't work. Oxygen couldn't bypass the knot in my throat, and tiny pinpricks of black swam across my vision as I stared at Meredith's seated figure. She sipped her coffee and paced through the latest Women's Wear daily like she hadn't reduced my life to rubble in the space of 10 seconds. Meredith, if I don't, she raised a manicured hand, her expression bored. I already know what you're going to say, and it won't change my mind. I've been watching you and your lack of enthusiasm for a while, Stella, and Saturday night was the last straw. The coppery taste of blood filled my mouth from how hard I bit my tongue. Lack of enthusiasm. Lack of enthusiasm. I was the first person in and the last person out of the office. I did 80% of the work on shoots for a fraction of the credit. I never complained even when she threw the most outrageous requests at me, like getting Chanel to ship a limited edition couture gown to us from Paris with less than 24 hours notice. If that was a lack of enthusiasm, I shuddered to think what she considered an appropriate level of dedication. Yes, I noticed, Meredith said, mistaking my silence for agreement. I admit you have a good eye for style, but so do 1,000 other girls who would kill to be in your position. You clearly don't want to be here. I see it in your eyes every time I talk to you. Honestly, we shouldn't have hired you in the first place. Your blog generates enough traffic to be considered a competitor, and our contract forbids our employees from engaging in competitive business practices. The only reason we didn't fire you earlier was because your side job didn't interfere with your work. Meredith took another sip of coffee. On Saturday night, it did. You'll receive an email and official termination paperwork by the end of the day. Panic squeezed my lungs at the prospect of losing my job, but I also detected a kernel of something else, anger. Meredith could make all the excuses she wanted, but we both knew she'd been dying to fire me for years. She was part of the old guard who didn't like the changes bloggers were bringing to the industry, and she took out her resentment on me. Maybe if you treated your employees better, I'd be more enthusiastic. Maybe if you weren't so insecure, you'd see how many blog could help the magazine, not hurt it. On that note, you should check out the skin tone guide I posted last week because the color of your top does nothing for your complex. The uncharacteristic slew of insults rushed to the tip of my tongue, but I swallowed them before they spilled out and got me blacklisted in the industry. All I wanted was to work in fashion and be close to Mora. That was why I'd stayed in the city and got a job at DC Style, despite my parents' insistence that I find a job more befitting and Alonso. I gave up a lot of things for other people, but my dream wouldn't be one of them, unless it was out of my hands and I got fired. I understand. I forced a smile that matched the wise wrapped around my chest in tightness. Have your things cleared out by this afternoon, Meredith added without looking up from her computer. There are boxes waiting at your desk. Humiliation washed over my skin as I exited her office and walked to my desk. Everyone knew I'd been fired. Some of them shot me pitying glances, others didn't hide